Hey, good morning, guys. Today we're trying a little something different, something new to the channel. I have been experimenting with the idea of making bonsai trees. This is just my amateur attempt. I've watched tons of videos, read books, etc. I'm not going to be wiring the trees. I'm trying to go for more of just a natural clip and grow style trees. And if they don't turn out to be anything spectacular, that's fine, because it's not about the end product, it's about the journey, right? About watching these plants and these trees change over time as you shape them and watch them develop. Now this is just a sycamore tree. This came up on its own in one of my flower pots. I transplanted it out and it actually has some pretty nice root features. Check it out. I think that is pretty much a good feature there. I'll have to chop it back and play around with it and see what happens. But recently I've actually just kind of cut a lot of the growing tips out of it to kind of slow down some of the growth. It was getting quite long, but it's on its way. I think it's a pretty nice start, if you will. Now this one is the one I'm more proud of. Now this again came up as a seedling in a flower pot. I believe this is an elm, and it also has a nice flowing trunk to it. See that? That is completely natural. I've done no bending or wiring or anything like that. I just let it kind of do its own natural thing there. And again, just like the other trees, I've recently cut them back on the growing tips here to kind of help, slow the growth down. It was getting really long. But yeah, if you have any ideas or tips to give me in this process, I'd like to, I'd use those. Now this is another forest or a clump style that's kind of really jumbled together, but again, free seedlings. So this is all just for experimentation and playing around. So before I get too involved in the process, I just want to kind of be able to play around and see what I can come up with. Now, I have read that if you get enough of these together and you can kind of maybe tie them together, eventually they'll make a solid trunk, kind of merge into one, which I may actually do that when I come around to replanting those. But I'd like to show you some of more personal favorites of mine. Now these are my redwood collections. Now this is a dawn redwood. You can tell by the lighter color leaves on it. Now it naturally has a nice golden coloration to it. The bark on it, you can see right here, is actually kind of a little nice little peeling away feature that it has. I like that a lot. That is actually pretty fun. Yeah, dawn redwoods are supposedly been around since the late Cretaceous period, so it's a living fossil. Definitely one of my interests of prehistoric plants and things such as that. So growing a dawn redwood in a way is kind of like growing a fossil, right? Now this is a relative of the dawn redwood. This is the bald cypress. Again, distant relative to the actual redwood trees, but look at the same bark structure on it. And I just cut the top of this back very recently. Again, like everything else, it was getting very tall, and it is putting out some side shoots everywhere. See right here, a new dark growth that was not there before. So there's a lot of back buddings happening, and yeah, so hopefully we'll see what comes of that. Hopefully it's not just a stick and it'll actually put on some branching, because right now it's just a stick. It was probably twice as tall as it is now, and I had to cut back some of the growth to see what I could come up with. Now this is another dawn redwood seedling. I find they grow very easily from seed. I know some people have some trouble with that. I've made some videos about growing dawn redwoods from dawn redwood trees from seed. Say that fast. Yeah, if you like to do, check those out. Again, another bald cypress. This one I let go a little bit taller, just for a little variation in the collection. And a new pretty neat feature here, this one, look, especially putting out 2, 3, this is actually putting out a lot of, you can't even see that, this is putting out a lot of new shoots growing at the top here. So that's going to be interesting. I got to figure out how to manage that, pick out a new leader style or what I plan on doing with it. Now this one here, I have tried to grow coast redwoods before, and I did not grow this one from seed. Of all the trees, this one is actually a purchased little plant, just in the interest of time. But now I tried to grow these before, planted them out. They did not survive the winter, and I do plan on making a video just particularly about just my redwood growing experience. I'm in zone 7A in West Virginia, the Allegheny front, I guess. But yeah, this is not a good region to grow native redwood trees, but it's fun. I'll probably bring this back inside for the winter just to kind of make sure it does survive. And if it gets big enough, maybe I'll try to keep it outside over winter, see what happens. The dawn redwoods overwinter very easily. The bald cypress have overwintered. This is on their 3rd season. No troubles whatsoever. And believe it or not, bald cypress are actually native all the way up into Indiana, Missouri, and southern Illinois. So they're not only the lowland, tropical, semi-subtropical Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, Florida kind of tree. They actually do naturally occur in the upper Ohio River Valley. Now, this one needs no explanation. This is, yes, the Ginko biloba. This is a funny story. I actually planted some seeds in this one and forgot about it. And nothing happened. I planted something else, like a flower or something. It grew, it produced, it died, and then lo and behold, a Ginko grew. So the pot is massive for a little seedling, and it will be transplanted out probably in the fall once it goes dormant. But here are the Ginkgos that I planted deliberately. Now these are all grown from the same seed, from the same mother plant. Yes, we do have a couple of female Ginko trees, and their seeds, guys, they're nasty. They are hard to handle. They smell just disgusting. That's why most urban plantings you're going to see are only male trees, because the offensive smell that the fruit makes, it's really, really bad. Anyways, I planted these seeds, and they're all growing so far. Now these are sequoias, okay, also redwoods, but the giant sequoia, like the General Sherman, things like that, that actually has recently been fallen down. So shout out to that. But check it out, these guys are doing quite well. These were grown from seed. I just had to weed these. It's actually very compact. I won't say pine, but this is a cypress family. It's a much more cypress or juniper type leaves as compared to, the bald cypress, the dawn redwood, and of course the coast redwood, which actually grow in these flat. They actually grow flat like this, which is one of the features that's pretty neat. I've actually had a chance to see the redwoods in California. It was an amazing experience. I will actually be putting a video, like I said, about just my redwood experience. Fantastic, so stick around for that. But this is just a quick look at some of the amateur beginning bonsai projects that I've started here on the channel. This is not going to transition to a bonsai only channel, so if you're been a long-term subscriber, this is just one of many things. On this channel I'm always growing and experimenting with something, and this is something I've been doing for quite a while, and just now got to the point that I'm ready to show you a little bit of the progress. And I hope you like it. Hope you stick around for the final product, because it's going to be a long-term project. As you know, bonsai is not an overnight thing. And for what it's worth, I think some of these trees, maybe even this dawn redwood here, I'm thinking might actually be planted out somewhere. It's actually quite large, and maybe focus on this one as the bonsai specimen, because this is only a year. The seedling planted this spring, so it's not even a year old. It's going to be easier to kind of grow and maybe train more appropriately, as this one I just kind of let it just grow on its own for the 3rd year. And all I've done is taken the top of it off again, like I did pruning all of my plants about a month ago. Yeah, what do you think? Should I keep this and train this larger specimen into more of a bonsai, or should it be planted out into the to the garden somewhere? Let me know. Hope you like it, guys. This has been a fun little experiment I've been wanting to share with you, for a long time. Yeah, hope you enjoy. We'll be around for the journey. This is going to be a long-term process. Hope you stick around. Thanks for watching, guys.